No, the most
Ends 2 weeks from tonight on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
Tonight, armed and dangerous. Cops say they know who raped a woman inside an Albany hotel, and now the hunt for him is on. But first, the day after.
I still haven't been able to really cry.
The real fury from Hurricane Katrina is just now being felt. First on Fox. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Wayne Garcia.
And I'm Shauna Parsons. First on Fox, Katrina's fury. Tonight, it's a race against time and rising waters to save those who may have survived. We have live team coverage of the storm from Mississippi all the way to right here in Portland. And we begin tonight with KPTV's JJ Ramberg, who joins us live from Biloxi. JJ, what can you tell us tonight?
The destruction caused by Hurricane Katrina is incredibly overwhelming. It's almost incomprehensible. You can just see behind me right here, this is one building. These are just the remains, really, of what used to be a brick building. You can imagine the type of force it takes to knock down a brick building like this. The governor here in Mississippi called Hurricane Katrina, quote, our tsunami. This street in Long Beach, Mississippi had been lined with homes before Hurricane Katrina hit early Monday morning. Now, most of them are gone. It's a story similar to many that have been playing out along much of the Gulf Coast.
I still haven't been able to really cry. I'm just so still shocked and just exhausted because we have nowhere to go right now.
Here in Biloxi, Mississippi, the Las Vegas of the South, casinos lay in ruins, slot machines littering the ground. The Magnolia State's governor said the destruction was, quote, indescribable.
There was structure after structure that had survived Camille with minor damage that are simply not there anymore.
In New Orleans, long after Katrina left town, the flooding worsened. Louisiana's governor asked for emergency shelters to be evacuated, and many government officials worried about public health.
We also have great concerns about the safety of the water supply in most of these areas. It's important to listen to the local officials, boil water.
While authorities focused on rescue efforts, some people looted abandoned businesses. One man who was released by police said,
it's bad around here. People trying to eat and survive. This is, trying to take care of their family. I got about 6, 7 little grandchildren and everything. People just trying to eat around here.
Looting has become such a big problem in New Orleans that they've had to bring in both the National Guard and SWAT teams. Now, here in Mississippi, the governor has been very clear. He says that anybody caught looting will be arrested and thrown into jail immediately. Reporting live from Biloxi, Mississippi, I'm JJ Ramberg. Back to you.
Well, rescuers in New Orleans estimate that they have now pulled at least 3,000 people to safety. Take a look at some of the dramatic rescues that were caught on camera. Many people were lifted off rooftops by helicopters, and some people got onto their roofs by having to break through the attic. Rescue crews believe that there are hundreds more people waiting to be rescued. Some may be trapped. Now, right now, there is a race against time to find more of the victims.
Emergency crews are having a tough time getting around New Orleans, not only because of high water, but also because several bridges are out. Take a look. Parts of this major bridge collapse. The 24-mile-long bridge runs right across the middle of Lake Pontchartrain. The bridge usually carries 3,500 vehicles during peak hours. Another bridge that's damaged is at the mouth of the lake northeast of New Orleans. Incredible devastation, but also some amazing stories of survival. Joe O'Neill lives in Mississippi. He says he had to swim about 3 miles to get to safety, but he was determined to reach his family.
I was kicking myself in the behind for not leaving earlier with my family, but I knew that I had to survive this storm. I knew family was counting on me, so I knew I was going to get out. I just had to dig deep.
O'Neill says he swam out of a window onto the roof of his home where he rode out the storm by clinging to his chimney. He says he then swam for land and walked more than a mile before his sister happened to drive by and see him.
People whose family members are caught in the destruction are waiting anxiously for some word from their loved ones. A local woman is among those who long to hear something positive about her family in Gulfport, Mississippi. KPTV's Jim Hyde joins us live now from News Control with her story. Jim.
Well, Wayne, earlier this evening, Carrie Peterson finally got word that her cousin Katie is safe. Such anxiety is shared by those with loved ones in those Gulf Coast states.
Don't go away. Our reporters are standing by in the disaster zone with the...
And I just keep watching and keep trying the numbers that I do have for everyone, hoping that I can get in touch with someone.
As the floodwaters and ruined landscape roll by hour after televised hour, Americans' anxiety grows. Carrie Peterson's worried about her cousin Katie, a police officer in Gulfport. Earlier this evening, she finally got a message. through an aunt in Arizona.
And hasn't had any sleep. She's been, she's a police officer, so she's been doing her job as well as worrying about her kids.
The law enforcement, are you also assisting in trying to move people who might be injured?
There's little comfort for families around the country in such reality checks. Carrie worries about her cousin's children and parents. The kids went to their house 10 miles inland from Gulfport. Then, little more than an hour ago, she got word that Katie's husband, a firefighter, had reached the house and found everyone safe. Relief for Carrie Peterson's family, but for other families.
The waiting game, that's the hardest thing.
And that last call, Carrie tells me, was also relayed from the police station where her cousin works through the aunt in Arizona. Many other families waiting through another anxious night. May they receive some good news, and soon. Reporting live in News Control, Jim Hyde, the 10 o'clock news.
And Katrina will be one for the history books. Chief Meteorologist Mark Nelson is here now to explain how this storm will stack up against those that have come before, including Hurricane Andrew. Mark?
I think it'll stack up as number 4. There are really 3 big storms, the most intense hurricanes that have hit the U.S. mainland. Labor Day hurricane, 1935, Category 5 storm, crossed right through the Florida Keys, just missing Miami. Then, 1969, the benchmark we keep hearing about, Camille, hit the Mississippi coast just east of where this last Katrina just hit as a Category 5. And then down to the southeast there, Andrew, the big one, Category 5, 1992, just missed Miami once again. And of course, our latest storm, Hurricane Katrina, the big problem in New Orleans, Lake Pontchartrain to the north, then Mississippi River to the south. The levee has broken down several places from what we hear. Levee about 15 feet above sea level. The water pours into the city. The deepest part of the city about 5 feet below sea level. So then that fills up as deep as 20 feet deep. And then the rest of the city all near or just below sea level. And there's a Mississippi River there as well. So all that water is now trapped. And we'll be watching this over the next few weeks, I'm sure. And I'll have a complete forecast for us coming up, too.
We're told about 80% of the city of New Orleans is underwater right now, 80%. And the water is 20 feet deep in some places. Now in Portland, the seawall is 30 feet above sea level. If we had that kind of flooding here, 20 feet deep above that seawall, the water would cover about half of downtown, including the Pearl District. It also would creep up I-84 and flood about half of the Rose Quarter. Floodwaters would cover nearly the entire east side industrial area, too. The Oregon Trail chapter of the American Red Cross is hitting the road to help those devastated in the South. Today, an emergency response truck left Portland headed for Little Rock, Arkansas. And because they've already sent several Portland-based drivers to help, the Red Cross actually had to fly in other volunteers from Colorado to drive that truck out.
People from the South who now live here in Portland are just desperate to help their family and friends. These are the scenes that have played out on TV for the last several hours, and all anyone living here can do tonight is just watch and wait. KPTV's David Freitas is live in North Portland with more on how one business is lending a hand tonight. David?
Well, the Red Cross is really the nerve center of relief activity here in the Portland area. Locals and businesses are doing whatever they can to try and get money to the South.
Nothing better than some fried shrimp.
Chef Madison Ragland, born and raised in the heart of the bayou. Tonight, from the kitchen of his Portland restaurant, he's thinking of the friends he has yet to hear from.
A few friends I've been trying to call for days, and you just don't get through. Everything's tied up.
They may not be able to reach out to him, but he's reaching out to them. A little Red Cross donation box now sits in his restaurant, Lan Yap. Translated from the Creole, it means a little something extra. It's exactly what he's hoping to deliver to his hometown, submerged under Katrina's wrath.
Hopefully we'll be able to get some donations in from the Red Cross and be able to get some relief. There's a lot of people pushed out of their homes.
Ragland was one of the first businesses in the area to call the Red Cross, but he likely won't be the last. After the tsunami in Southeast Asia, restaurants all over the metro area did whatever they could to raise money for recovery.
Who knows how much of the city in some areas will even be able to get reclaimed. That people will be able to even go back to.
So far, Ragland doesn't have any special plans for dinners. He is considering it, as are some other restaurants we talked to. We'll keep you posted. Live in North Portland, David Freitas, the 10 o'clock news.
Well, there are hundreds of thousands of people who could use a hand right now. And even during times of tragedy, there are scammers just waiting to rip you off. So coming up in the Fox 12 Final Cut, we'll show you how to tell whether the charity you're about to give money to is legit. Stick around for important information that might help you make your decision.
Gasoline is one of the things that folks are having a hard time finding in the hard-hit areas. In central and southern Louisiana, gas is becoming scarce. And making matters worse, some of the pumps that have gas can't run because of electricity problems. Some stations are using generators to help out, but even then, they are limiting the amount of gas that they can give each person. Gas prices are going up, and there is no end in sight. Here in Portland, the average price right now, $2.61 a gallon for regular. That's just a penny higher than the national average of $2.60. Now, folks living in Hawaii are paying the highest prices of all right now, $2.91 per gallon. The lowest in the United States is in Missouri, where people there are paying $2.49. For gas prices in your area, you can always log on to our website, kptv.com.
Well, here is what we know tonight about Katrina and the damage left behind. At least 100 people are dead, at least, and officials fear that number will continue to rise. An estimated 80% of New Orleans is underwater, up to 20 feet deep in some places. The Coast Guard spent most of today rescuing at least 3,000 people stranded by the storm. The mayor of New Orleans is deciding whether or not to evacuate the remainder of the people who didn't leave the city before the storm hit. Hundreds of thousands are without power in several states, and tonight there is no word on when any of it will be restored. And keep it tuned to the 10 o'clock news for the very latest on this developing story.
The 10 o'clock news is just getting started.
A Salem high school coach accused of downloading child porn, how police in another state helped make the bust.
A little girl attacked by dogs as she played outside her church. It's a story you'll see only on 12.
Their son died playing a deadly game.
He tried something that was just not thought through.
It's a warning every parent needs to hear.
Plus, Katrina's fury shown in images too powerful to ignore. More pictures of the hurricane's devastating blow to the Gulf Coast coming up.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
No matter what time you get up in the morning.
Good Day Oregon is on with 12 on 12, your complete look at news, weather, and traffic in just 12 minutes.
Weekdays from 5 to 9 on Fox 12 Oregon.
At the Myron Frank Labor Day sale for a limited time, get the best brands at the lowest prices. Get the lowest prices of the season on Levi's, lowest prices of the season on Dockers for her, and Never Iron Dockers for men are just $49.99. Only at Myron Frank.
Quest super fast high-speed internet and 100% digital quality TV are the better choice in entertainment. It's time to leave cable behind. Get Quest dedicated high-speed internet with the best in security from MSN Premium and DirecTV service with 100% digital quality on every channel. All for only $58.98 a month. You can't get all that from cable. Call Quest today at 1-866-4BEST-FOR-YOU. That's our spirit of service.
The Myron Frank Big Labor Day Furniture Sale starts tomorrow. First time ever. Buy more, save more on furniture. Make no payments for 6 months or get 0% financing for 1 year. Get a Sealy Posturepedic for $399.99. And use your all-day shopping pass store-wide. Only at Myron Frank.
Armed and dangerous and on the loose. We'll tell you why police need your help tonight to track down a violent rapist. Coming up on the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Pacific Lifestyle Homes introduces Morgan's Vineyard in Lafayette, Oregon. Premier homes located in a quiet, serene vineyard country setting. Incredible territorial views with homes just hours from the ocean and mountains. Visit us at PacificLifestyleHomes.com. Built for the way you live and built with quality products and services from valued partners like Fritz Mechanical, your affordable professional team for high-quality heating and air conditioning systems from York. Call us today for a free estimate.
Comcast high-speed internet. Faster than DSL, so music, photos, everything downloads in an instant. And we just keep getting faster. So you can do more online. It's one more reason more people across America choose Comcast. Call today for this great offer.
Fox Wednesday. 2 dance finalists get the axe.
He will not be going on to the next round.
And the survivors will couple up with someone new. Together, will they make magic or fall apart?
Your votes will determine who moves on and who doesn't.
So you think you can dance? Wednesday at 8 on Fox 12 Oregon.
Tonight's Fox 12's Most Wanted is the man police say raped an Albany teenager. We have learned Portland police are now on the lookout for this man, Dustin Eamon. That's because he was seen in Northeast Portland just 3 days ago. KPTV's Deborah Gill is live there tonight with more.
Tonight, police are asking for your help to find this man, Dustin Eamon. They believe he is armed and dangerous, and he was last seen here in Northeast Portland on Saturday. Here in Northeast Portland tonight, or somewhere between here and Albany, police say a violent rapist is on the loose.
He could be anywhere, so I don't know where he is.
But tonight, police believe they know who he is. After several tips from the public, police identified 32-year-old Dustin Eamon as the suspect in a kidnapping and rape at the Albany Phoenix Inn back in July. The victim, 19-year-old Adrian, says she was there for a job training class. When she went to the restroom, she says a man put a knife to her throat and dragged her to an open hotel room. There, she says he sexually assaulted her for over 2 hours.
It was in a place where people obviously were, so obviously he wasn't afraid to do it. So it could very well happen to somebody else.
Police used surveillance pictures from a porn shop next to the hotel to help identify Eamon as the suspect. They say he was seen here in Northeast Portland 3 days ago.
You know, out here it's already bad and everything, and then at that, just having a rapist out here is even making it even worse.
Police say Eamon is an ex-Marine and trained with weapons. Tonight, they're hoping the public will help them find him.
As a woman, I am very threatened by that. And I hope that the police are doing everything they can about it.
Police say Eamon was seen driving a red 1991 Chevy S10 pickup with Oregon license SFU 594. The pickup should have damage to the front passenger area. Now, Eamon is considered armed and dangerous. If you've seen him or that pickup, you're urged to call police. Reporting live tonight in Northeast Portland, Deborah Gill, the 10 o'clock news.
Portland police are also searching for an identity theft suspect tonight. Take a look at Robert Speck. He's facing several charges of ID and mail theft as well as a probation violation. If you see him, call police.
A South Salem basketball coach is behind bars tonight facing charges of child pornography. Police arrested Rodney Howard today after federal agents say they caught him downloading child porn online. KPTV's Jamie Wilson joins us now live from Salem with more on that. Jamie?
Well, Howard has been an assistant coach here at South Salem High School for the last 10 years, but he was just about to start his first season as head coach. And his arrest is something this basketball program never expected. Larry Linebaugh's son has been looking forward to varsity basketball all summer, but tonight he says his whole family is just trying to digest the unbelievable news about Coach Howard.
Yeah, I got a phone call and said turn on the news, and I was very shocked. And
today, police arrested Rodney Howard on 5 counts of encouraging child sex abuse. Internet investigators in New Mexico tipped off Oregon officials. They say Howard was exchanging images of child pornography online. Local police searched his apartment here, and they took his computer in as evidence. Larry says it's a huge blow to players and parents.
he's been a good influence. You know, I've known nothing but good things. I've talked with him many times, just one-on-one.
I don't think we'll really hear about it that much because sometimes things will happen out of school like that and we don't really hear about it for a long time.
School starts next Tuesday, but some students wonder if the staff will even talk about Howard's arrest. But regardless, they worry how this could affect the school's image.
That's something we're proud of, to be a school of excellence and stuff, and then to have someone just kind of, mess it up for everybody isn't very nice.
Rodney Howard has coached both of Larry's sons, and he says he's always admired him. So tonight, Larry's keeping his fingers crossed for the basketball team, and he's keeping an open mind.
I have high feelings for Rodney. I like him. I hope everything works out well.
Now, Rodney Howard will make his first court appearance on Thursday, but tonight he's in the Marion County Jail on $100,000 bail. Live in Salem tonight, Jamie Wilson, the 10 o'clock news.
A deadly crash kills an Oregon City teenager. Just before 11:30 this morning, a car hit an SUV head-on South Redland Road at Lost Horse Lane. Rescue crews pulled the 17-year-old driver of the car from the wreckage, but he died at the scene. The driver of the SUV is at OHSU tonight. Police are still investigating the cause of that accident.
2 dogs attack a young girl at a local park, and tonight a Salem dad wants to warn other families. Mike Robinson says his 9-year-old daughter was on the swing set at a playground at a church when 2 large dogs lunged at her. One dog bit her pant leg, but the other latched onto her armpit, causing a wound that required stitches. The dogs were not on leashes. Police did cite the owners, and they do have a hearing with animal control next month. But in the meantime, Mike says the owners refuse to put the dogs down, and he worries there's still a danger.
Biggest complaint about it is the owners aren't trying to do anything. I mean, this is the second time that the dogs have bitten a child in this area. And our biggest concern is that, for one, the dogs aren't safe.
The dog's owners live within just a few blocks of that church playground.
Thousands of dollars worth of designer eyeglass frames are disappearing from optical shops in the Portland area. The fashionable frames can cost between $200 and $1,500. And right now, detectives are working on at least 5 cases of theft just this month. In this surveillance video from a Kaiser eye clinic in southeast Portland, the thief takes just a moment to grab several pairs of the glasses. In all, we are told that someone ripped off 41 designer frames from 3 Kaiser clinics. A LensCrafters store in Gresham reports 55 pairs were taken from their shop. That's just more than $14,000. Dr. Brad Smith installed cameras and locked up expensive frames after his business was hit twice earlier this year.
They have been identified by a number of different offices, and it's a couple that goes around. There might even be a third person with them where they just distract people and then they get away with what they can get away with.
Victims and police say that those thieves will sell the expensive frames for whatever they will bring on the internet, where they're almost impossible to trace.
Coming up, cracking down on meth.
See what drug enforcement agents are planning to do to ensure the dangerous drug stays out of Oregon.
And folks already reeling from the effects of Katrina are now dealing with another problem, price gouging. How some are feeling a pinch in their pocketbooks.
And 74 degrees here in the Rose City today. Temperatures headed uphill, though. We'll let you know if there is any heat on the way. Obviously, no heat out there this evening. We've got clear skies looking downtown. We'll let you know how warm and the Labor Day weekend forecast coming up.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
What's that breeze?
That's our TV. It sucks.
It sucks?
Yeah, the bill, customer service, sucks big time.
Gosh, that sucks.
Oh, it totally sucks. Your TV doesn't suck?
No, we have Dish Network. Saves tons of money. Service is way better.
And we got a free DVR. Well, maybe we should get Dish Network.
Join today and get 25 movie channels free, plus 1 month free service. Dish Network, better TV for all.
Still tonight, see what makes the Fox 12 final cut.
Before you donate to hurricane charities, you'll want to hear our tips on how not to get scammed.
Plus, some very famous shoes go missing. Hear about a museum's footwear nightmare.
And she lived to be 115, but wait till you hear the strange diet she swore by.
These stories, plus everything else you need to know tonight on the Fox 12 final cut.
Lots of Wi-Fi users work in coffee shops, which aren't always the best places to work. Wouldn't it be great to work wherever you wanted instead of only in hotspots? Now you can with Verizon Wireless Broadband Access. Wi-Fi only works in limited locations, while Broadband Access is the nation's largest, fastest, wide-area wireless broadband network and is expanding coast to coast. Now get unlimited access at a great price, so you won't get stuck in a not-so-hot spot. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
This segment of the 10 o'clock news is brought to you by Furniture Outlet.
I just had the most bizarre dream. I was driving a race car down the straightaway. I've never driven a race car. Maybe I should. Drive on into America's Mattress for the sale of the summer during our hot August night sale. Buy now and get 12 months interest-free payments. Don't you think that sounds like fun? Let's go.
Hang on there, Susie Andretti. You haven't even had your coffee yet.
Sleep better, pay less. Only at America's Mattress, located inside all Furniture Outlet locations.
In tonight's Meth Watch, a Marion County mother is ordered to serve 18 months in prison for passing meth to her baby through breastfeeding. A judge gave Jenny Thomas the maximum sentence yesterday. She pleaded guilty earlier this month. Thomas brought her 9-month-old son to a hospital back in November, and tests showed that the baby had meth in his system. Drug agents announced several plans today that would reduce the flow of meth into Oregon. Oregon laws are already credited with cutting the number of meth labs in the state from 447 last year to 119 for the first half of this year. But drug enforcement agents are now focused on stopping the drug traffic from overseas. They say foreign meth makers are becoming more creative. Case in point, back in February, workers at the Portland International Airport found meth inside a saddle that was on a flight from Guadalajara.
In news across the Northwest tonight, police in the Washington town of Mount Lake Terrace are looking for a man who sneaked into a girl's bedroom. KPTV's Mark Coleman has more about that home invasion.
It was just after 5:30 this morning that the attacker used a small ladder in the backyard of the home to climb up into the girl's second-story bedroom. Once he climbed through the window, the intruder grabbed the girl and placed his hand over her mouth. That's when the 14-year-old quickly bit him and began to scream. The attacker jumped back out the second-story window. Her father believes the invasion was planned.
I always park my car here, and maybe the person thought that I'm not at home. That is why he has to maybe sneak in.
After the attacker fled, the girl quickly called 911. Police searched the neighborhood, even taking fingerprints.
As I went to unlock my back door, there's two policemen on my deck walking down my deck with the German Shepherd and going, "Lady, you can't come outside." I said, "I ain't going outside."
So far, the search has come up empty, and the attack comes as no surprise to neighbors.
Sometimes there are bad things go on in this neighborhood.
For the Dankwa family, faith is the only comfort.
We always pray to God that God always protect us.
The girl describes the man as being very tall with a pair of light pants. Police aren't sure yet whether it was an attempted robbery or an attempted rape. Reporting in Seattle, Mark Coleman, 10 o'clock news.
Well, last weekend we escaped without any wet weather.
So, Mark, with the holiday weekend just around the corner, will it be the same, or are we going to see some rain?
I think we've got a little bit of rain coming up. The big question, what part of the weekend will be wet? We'll answer that. Today's temperatures, though, only in the mid-70s, but as I mentioned, we're headed uphill. Complete pinpoint forecast coming up next.
It was a heroic piece of work by CNN employees.
Stress on the job for reporters is nothing new, but tonight we have a look at how covering stories like this hurricane can really just push them to the breaking point.
And also, it is a dangerous game that kids are picking up on, a warning that all parents need to hear before it's too late.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Well, the boys are in high school this year, so we got this great 2-for-1 deal from Sprint. So now we can call and text each other, you know, to check in. It's not that I don't trust them. It's just that... It's all good.
And it's going to get better.
Now, buy one of our most popular Sprint PCS Vision picture phones for $49.99 and get one free. Sprint PCS, now that's better.
You're born. You go to school. You work hard. You raise a family. You pay your taxes. And when you die, the IRS can tax you again, taking as much as 55% of everything you've saved for your children. It's called the death tax, and it's wrong. With his vote, Senator Ron Wyden could eliminate the death tax. Isn't a lifetime of taxes enough?
Is it getting safer to fly? We'll tell you why one airport is getting rid of its screeners coming up on the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Bedmart is liquidating the entire local mattress inventory of a national department store chain. Save hundreds of dollars on brand name mattresses right now while supplies last, only at Bedmart.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Kaiser Permanente. Thrive.
Fill your home with design and innovation, like the new Whirlpool Fast Fill refrigerator.
Designed to fill any size container with filtered chilled water twice as fast. At Best Buy, we have the appliances you want.
Through Labor Day, Bedmart is the only place in the Northwest you can get the original Tempur-Pedic mattress as low as $6.99. It's nowhere else at this price. It's only at Bedmart.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Vancouver police need your help tonight as they search for a missing woman. Take a look at Patricia Gregory. She was last seen by a family member in Vancouver around noon on Friday when she left their house. She gave no indication she was leaving, but she did take her purse and address book with her. If you have any information on where she might be, call Vancouver police. In the war on terror tonight, a major airport is dumping its security screeners, the private ones anyway. Next year, San Francisco International Airport will stop using screeners from private security companies. It was the largest airport in a nationwide pilot program testing whether or not the private companies can do a better job than the feds. San Francisco airport bosses worried they wouldn't be protected from lawsuits that might come from a terrorist incident if it remained private.
We have more now on Katrina's fury. The immense destruction to people and property takes an emotional toll, too, even for hardened reporters who make a living covering disasters like this one. For a moment, we'd like to play you an exchange between CNN reporter Jeannie Meserve and anchor Aaron Brown, who was complimenting her and her crew for braving the elements to bring home the story.
And may I say that the crew was extraordinary. We had very difficult situations. One of my cameramen has worked with a broken foot since 9 o'clock this morning to try and get this story to you. Big words of praise for them. It was a heroic piece of work by CNN employees.
People sometimes think that we're a bunch of kind of wacky thrill seekers doing this work sometimes. And no one who has listened to the words you've spoken or the tone of your voice could possibly think that now.
When you stand in the dark and you hear people yelling for help and no one can get to them, it's a totally different experience.
While Katrina slammed into the coast, many people have been seeking shelter in Texas. But some hotels aren't opening the doors of hospitality. A Comfort Suites in Baytown, Texas, has doubled their room rates. On the hotel's website, it says the rooms are $99 a night. But when customers went in, they found a much different story.
What did they tell you when you asked what the rate was?
They said $199.
$199, and you said?
Yes, because it was the only room.
Now, the hotel says that they doubled the rates back on Friday night. The manager says the reason for the hike wasn't to make money. Instead, they claim it was to keep certain types of people out of the hotel.
All right, Mark's here now with a check of the forecast. But boy, these pictures have just been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah.
You know, it was interesting how when we first started yesterday, the story was, oh, Katrina just missed New Orleans. Looks like maybe it's not that bad, not as bad as we feared it. And then those levees broke, the water's in, and now it has turned into just pretty much worst case scenario down there. So I think we're going to hear about this for months to come. And remember, probably the rest of our lives, this will be our Camille.
We'll talk about this one.
Now, back here in the Northwest, hate to jump to happy news, but we do have very nice weather here, folks. You know, I do have to comment. It seems like whenever we have hurricanes, I'm sitting there on the computer looking at the satellite pictures under great weather. That's because these hurricanes happen in the mid to late summer and into the early fall, when we often, here in the Northwest, have our best weather. That's Skyline Cam, by the way, as you can see from 1,900 feet above the city. Crystal clear skies out there tonight. 66 degrees here in Portland. Now, we are getting those longer nights here, so temperatures, you notice, have been cooler the last few days, and they will continue to cool off as we go through the next few weeks. The overnight low temperatures. Also, notice the Willamette River temperature now down below 70 for the first time since early in July. So river temperatures peaking and dropping off because of our cooler daytime highs. Only in the mid-70s today. 76, though, down at Salem today. 77 at Eugene. A little cooler at the coastline. East of the Cascades, you folks a little bit warmer today. But definitely the summer heat is gone, and I don't see any sort of hot weather coming up in our future, at least for the next week. So, yeah, we could still hit 90, but it's becoming very unlikely that we would get much above 90. Definitely 100, very hard to hit this time of the year. 59 in Eugene at this hour, 61 in Redmond, and already down to 49 at Baker City. Sun River and La Pine, you folks just south of Bend did have that frost this morning. It'll be slightly warmer tomorrow morning. You see systems going by to the north. That's our fall jet beginning to get organized As we go through the next month, it'll slip more to the south on average. But for now, high pressure protecting us. That keeps the rain up to the north. And on our pinpoint forecast, you can see over the next day and a half, 2 days here, the clouds mostly stay to the north. If you were to go up to Vancouver or Victoria, BC, a lot cloudier, maybe a chance for showers. But we stay mostly sunny here, definitely sunny east of the Cascades, but even mostly sunny west side. Just some high clouds from time to time. So pretty simple weather pattern, just weak onshore flow. So we don't get a big push of ocean air to give us morning clouds, afternoon sun. We'll just get maybe brief clouds in the mornings the next 2 days, more likely sunny from sunrise to sunset. And the wind coming in from the ocean keeps it from getting too warm. So pretty comfortable, actually, over the next few days. 66 at Lincoln City. We've got a small craft advisory for the rough Columbia River bar, but the wind's not that strong. 82 at Salem tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, some high clouds from time to time. And east of the Cascades, you folks, another cool night tonight. 36 in Bend, 38 in Baker City, but warmer tomorrow. You notice just about everybody in the 80s. A light easterly wind through the gorge will turn westerly in the afternoon, but not too strong. 63 at Timberline tomorrow. You folks only in the 50s today if you were up there staying at the hotel. 54 tomorrow morning here, our pinpoint forecast in town. 66 by noon. 81 for a high temperature tomorrow afternoon. So yes, we're going to jump things up about 7 degrees from today's high, and mostly sunny skies tomorrow, just a few high clouds from time to time. The furthest western suburbs and northern suburbs, maybe some 40s tonight. Everybody else stays in the 50s. About 81 at Milwaukee tomorrow. And we'll have that 81 here in Portland, 81 also on Thursday, maybe a morning cloud on Friday, and there we lower the temperatures just a few degrees into the 70s. Okay, Saturday night, we think some showers will roll in after dark Saturday night. Sunday morning, Sunday, the best chance for showers for the weekend and a cool day. But right now, it still looks like we'll bounce back very quickly. Labor Day could be quite nice, moving back up into the 70s. Latest forecast from Andy tomorrow morning at 5.
In the final cut tonight, a dangerous game turns deadly for kids across the country. What you need to know to stop the trend. Putting Hurricane Katrina into perspective, we've got a unique way to show you just how many people have been forced out of their homes. And who stole the slippers? A movie icon is missing tonight, and they could be more valuable than real rubies. This is the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Last year, like every year, we planted over 100 million seedlings. It's how we're making sure the forest can supply all the wood and paper we need. It's nice to know we'll always have enough trees for the future. You see, we put them back after we use them. Weyerhaeuser. The future is growing.
Who built these wind turbines and the hundreds more that have followed? The way I see it, it's the thousands of PGE customers who've signed up for renewable energy options. It's your demand that's creating supply and working toward a cleaner, healthier Oregon. So thanks, and keep it up, because this isn't really about wind power. It's a story about the power of choice.
Renewable power options. Enroll at portlandgeneral.com.
My baby deserved better treatment than this.
Authorities make a horrific discovery inside a funeral home garage. What they found, plus everything else you need to know tonight on the Fox 12 Final Cut.
Had it with slow downloads? With Comcast high-speed internet, there's no waiting for downloads or a great deal. Call 1-866-SO-FAST-1 and save big during our $1 sale. Your first month of blazing fast Comcast high-speed internet service, just $1. Professional installation, just $1. Plus free modem lease for a whole year. Save over $175. Hurry, the $1 sale ends August 31st. So call Comcast at 1-866-SO-FAST-1 today.
You could go back to school with any notebook, but we've got Mead 5-star notebooks. For great prices on Mead notebooks, Elmer's glue sticks, and Crayola 10-count markers, school starts here. Walmart, always low prices, always. You could go back to school with any crayons, but we've got Crayola 24-count crayons. For great prices on Crayolas, Papermate grip stick pens, and 70-count notebooks, school starts here. Walmart, always low prices, always.
The Final Cut in 3, 2, 1, cue 'em.
The Final Cut starts tonight with news across America and new information about a 12-year-old girl who was feared to have been lured away from her North Carolina home by a convicted sex offender. A national Amber Alert for Jody Cawley was canceled about an hour ago after she was found at a Greyhound bus station in Iowa. Cawley disappeared from her bedroom on Thursday. Investigators say she'd been talking on the phone for months with this guy, Philip Dinkler. No word on where he is tonight. The family of a missing woman from Nevada has not given up on finding their mother. Nita Mayo disappeared 3 weeks ago while she was traveling through the Sierra Nevada region in California. Her daughters traveled to California soon after their mother disappeared. They've handed out flyers, and the sheriff's office has put up message boards. Rescue crews have combed the area, but so far the search has turned up nothing.
She's not there. She's not in that area. We believe that that area has been searched good. She's not there.
The only lead so far, and it may be nothing, is this woman, Jewel Rice. She disappeared at the same time, and she is considered a person of interest, but not necessarily a suspect. An Ohio couple wants to warn parents about a deadly game. Their 16-year-old son died on Sunday after he choked himself with a makeshift noose. Jeffrey Patton was found unconscious in a friend's yard. His father believes the teen used to play the deadly choking game with friends, but this time he was alone when he passed out.
To do this alone is, I think, a difficult thing, and so he tried something that was just not thought through that resulted in something that he couldn't get out of.
Police say teenagers all across the country are choking themselves to get a rush. Less than 2 weeks ago, a teenage girl in Kansas also died this way.
A shocking discovery in the garage of a former Pennsylvania funeral home has officials trying to identify more than 200 fetuses. Investigators say the now suspended funeral director had a contract with a women's hospital to turn over the fetuses to a crematory, but he never did. The fetuses came from abortions and miscarriages between 1999 and 2002. Some former patients at the women's hospital say that they hope investigators can track down information on those fetuses.
I hope that, first of all, that they can find out who the parents are to those children, those unborn babies, and that they will have the choice of taking the babies and burying themselves or letting the babies be buried in a mass grave.
Plans are underway to hold a memorial service for those fetuses. Meanwhile, the former funeral director has yet to be charged. A mom and her brand new triplets are recovering tonight after doctors performed 2 surgeries in a row to save all their lives. 36-year-old Roseanne Arante's triplets weren't due for another 2 months when she went to the hospital with chest pains. Well, it turns out she needed open heart surgery, but first the babies needed to be born. So doctors performed an emergency C-section just moments before her heart surgery. Tonight, all 4 of them are doing well, and Roseanne and her husband are just walking on air.
I'm walking around hugging doctors and, you know.
I'm speechless because all I keep saying, every time I go up to them, I'm like, I want to tell them something. I don't know what to tell them.
Twin boys Joseph Jr. and Michael and daughter Samantha will stay in the hospital through October.
Now in the final cut, a fire destroys 56 apartments, and tonight dozens of people near Boston are homeless. No one was hurt in the blaze. The fire started last night on a 2nd floor balcony. Flames quickly spread through the 3rd and 4th floors to the attic. No word yet on the exact cause of the fire. Crews say this was especially dangerous because the ceiling collapsed. A Pennsylvania expressway is now clear after an accident this morning that involved more than 100 sheep and goats. Investigators say a semi-truck rear-ended another semi that was carrying the livestock. The drivers are fine, but nearly 70 animals died. Several others managed to wander away. The accident caused a traffic tie-up that lasted well into the morning rush hour.
In news across the world tonight, the world's oldest living person is dead. At the age of 115, Henrike van Anderslipper died in her sleep today at a Netherlands nursing home. Henny was a former needlework teacher and lived to see 3 different centuries after being born in 1890. What was her secret to living to such a ripe old age? Well, she was a passionate soccer fan, and she swore by a daily helping of herring and a glass of orange juice for good health. The title of world's oldest person now passes to an American also born in 1890.
Tonight we're getting a better idea of Katrina's fury. The death toll continues to rise, and rescuers are struggling to find people trapped by the floodwaters. KPTV's Kevin Quarry has a closer look at the damage, and he joins us live from News Control with that story. Kevin?
Well, Shauna, we saw the wrath of Hurricane Katrina right away in parts of the Gulf Coast, but New Orleans seemed to be okay. That is until early this morning when 2 levees holding back water there broke. Tonight we're getting a look at Katrina's widespread path of destruction.
The city once thought to be spared from Hurricane Katrina is now a sea of disaster. Neighborhoods in New Orleans are submerged. Roads have been swallowed up. Officials say 80% of the city is underwater.
You know, we watched houses just disappear. You know, the water level get up over the roof, and then when the water receded, the houses just weren't there anymore.
The Coast Guard has rescued more than 1,200 people in New Orleans alone.
Back up! Back up!
Last night, rescuers had to break through a roof to get 2 people stranded in their attic. Others who tried to ride out the storm walked through a virtual river and used boats to get to higher ground. In Mississippi, the number dead may be as high as 80. This man described trying to save his wife.
I hold her hand tight like I could, and she told me, "You can't hold me." She said, "Take care of the kids."
In other parts of the Gulf Coast, buildings were simply torn apart, leaving nothing but rubble. Dolphins from a marina had to be moved to this hotel pool, but are reportedly doing okay. Back in New Orleans, even historic Bourbon Street couldn't escape the wrath of Hurricane Katrina. And as time passes, officials say the outlook only seems to be getting worse.
And overall, the death toll is estimated at about 100 and expected to likely rise. Live in News Control, Kevin Kawari, the 10 o'clock news.
Well, the governor of Louisiana has ordered the evacuation of nearly everyone from New Orleans due to conditions that make the city uninhabitable. That includes the people in shelters like the Superdome. New Orleans and the surrounding area has a population of about 1.5 million people. To put that into perspective, that would be like evacuating the entire population of Clackamas, Washington, and Multnomah counties. And authorities think it could be weeks until conditions are good enough for people to come back into the city.
Seeing the damage from Katrina may make you want to donate, but what is the best way to help the victims and save yourself from getting ripped off? KPTV's Carrie Tomlinson has been investigating that. She joins us now from the newsroom to explain. Carrie.
Well, watch out especially for emails. Less than an hour after the September 11th attacks, emails came out asking for money for donations, which turned out to be scams. So consumer experts are saying be very careful of emails asking for money for Katrina damage.
People here will survive with help. Food, water, clothes from someone else, somewhere else. But if you want to give that help, give thought first to how you will do it. Scammers are already planning how to trick you into thinking you're doing something good. If you get a call or email, check the charity out first. Write down the name. Some scammers use sound-alike charity names to fool you. Run the name through the Better Business Bureau's www.give.org. Find out more about the charity's financial information at GuideStar or Charity Watch from the American Institute of Philanthropy. You can also go to the Oregon or Washington Attorney General's website. Ask the caller how much money will go to the charity itself and how much will go to administration and fundraising costs. If you do find a charity that's reputable, check to see what they really need. For example, the Red Cross, Salvation Army, and Catholic Charities all say they can take donations of money, but not food or clothing for victims of Hurricane Katrina. They say sorting, cleaning, and shipping the items to the hurricane zone will cost too much and take much more work time than they can afford.
So if you're going to donate, the experts say write a check and write it out to the name of the charity, for example, to Mercy Corps instead of the name of the person who is trying to get the money from you. Now, all of this information will be available on our website, kptv.com. Live in the newsroom, Carrie Tomlinson, the 10 o'clock news.
And keep it tuned to Fox 12 for all the developments on Katrina's fury. Good Day Oregon will have updates all morning starting at 5, and we'll wrap up all the day's developments tomorrow right here on the 10 o'clock news.
Live from Fox 12 Oregon, this is breaking news.
And we've been following breaking news. Police have caught up with a suspect they say stole a cop car. It all started at 82nd and Halsey, and that's when officers say the man jumped in the car and just took off. He ditched it just a few minutes later at 91st and Hasselo, and that's where KPTV's David Freitas is live with more. David?
Shauna, you can see the car right behind me. This is the police car, and it's not damaged. The suspect ditched this car, as you said, right here. This all started at the 82nd Street Transit Center. Officers thought they spotted a man that was wanted. They went up to him, and they ended up getting into a fight with him. Well, the suspect ended up taking off on foot, running down the embankment at 82nd and onto the Banfield Freeway. And he was dodging traffic, almost got hit by a couple of cars. That's when another Portland police officer drove up, spotted that suspect, and took off chasing him on foot. He saw that the officer was chasing him. He doubled back, and he managed to hop into her car before she got back. As you can see now, it looks like they are jumping this car. The suspect probably ended up leaving his lights on. Now, he ended up hopping in the car, going about 6 blocks, and ended up here in this neighborhood where neighbors tonight gave us this reaction.
Yeah, I have 3 children inside, and they're all under the age of 10, so it is kind of startling and very concerning. I'm glad they found the guy. I'll sleep a lot better tonight knowing that. They did a good job.
Yeah, and after the suspect got out of this car, he was on foot for about 30 minutes, but because there were so many officers in the area, they did arrest him. We'll have more for you at the top of the hour. Live in Northeast Portland, David Freitas, the 10 o'clock news.
In the Hollywood Buzz tonight, actor George Clooney is looking to bring some new digs into Sin City. Clooney and another partner are teaming up with 2 Las Vegas real estate companies to create a new hotel casino resort. The Spanish-themed project called Las Ramblas will cost about $3 billion and will be a boutique hotel and casino. Clooney says that he came up with the idea as a means to inspire the once romantic notion of Vegas, where people get dressed up to go to dinner. And one of the most famous props in motion picture history has been stolen. One of the 4 existing pairs of Judy Garland's famous ruby red slippers for The Wizard of Oz was lifted from a Minnesota museum. Officials say that the thief entered the museum through a broken window and took the slippers from a small display case. The slippers belonged to a Los Angeles man who loaned them to the museum for 10 weeks. They were insured for $1 million. And that's tonight's Final Cut.
I'm Matt Smith. Ahead in sports, why you might not get to see newly renovated Reser Stadium after all. Plus, with the season opener less than 2 days away, we'll catch up with the Ducks, and a Portland soccer player is grabbing national attention. We'll take you there, coming up in sports.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local. What time do you get up in the morning? Turn to Good Day Oregon. In just 12 minutes, you'll have a complete look at news, weather, and traffic. We like to call it 12 on 12 because 12 minutes on Channel 12 gets your day started right. When you get up, Good Day Oregon is on with news, weather, and traffic that's first, live, and local. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on Fox 12 Oregon.
Thank you, Value Village, for helping me save money on school stuff.
Save 50% all day Labor Day at Value Village, the ultimate treasure hunt.
Mattress World's having a huge Labor Day sale.
Get any size mattress set for just $89 each piece.
Also get a 10-year Pillow Top Queen set for just $3.99.
Or get a memory foam queen set for just $6.99.
No interest, no payments for 1 full year and a 90-day money-back guarantee.
Sale ends Labor Day.
Mattress World's hard-to-find locations will save you money.
It's not too late to sleep like a baby. Mattress World.
If we can't beat any price on any comparable mattress, then the mattress is free.
Experience the film America's top critics are calling one of the best pictures of the year. A first-rate spy game, electrifying entertainment. It's a sizzling thriller that ends the summer on a high note. Get down! The Constant Gardener. Rated R. Uncover the conspiracy. Tomorrow.
Fans are letting Rafael Palmeiro know what they really think of him, and now he's doing something about it. Coming up on the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
This looks great.
Thanks. What was that?
Oh, it's my TV. It sucks.
It sucks?
The bill, the customer service, my TV sucks big time.
Wow, it sucks hard.
Your TV doesn't suck.
No, I have Dish Network. Low monthly bill, awesome service. I even got a free DVR.
Huh. Maybe we should switch to Dish Network.
Yeah, you might want to get on that.
Join today and get 25 movie channels free, plus 1 month free service. Dish Network, better TV for all.
This isn't just an ordinary school, it's for certain people who need help.
Our children here at Pappas are homeless. Some of them sleep in their cars, some are in shelters.
And I guess I needed some help.
Target is part of the Pappas family because they continually give to these children.
They know they're going to be loved, fed, clothed, the works.
This school means to these children a future.
They gave me a shot at life, and I really appreciate it.
An expose.
Come on, George, that's it. Come on, give it to me. Come on, work it, work!
On the next Seinfeld. Tonight at 11 on Fox 12 Oregon.
Good evening. If you're an Oregon Ducks fan, it's probably hard to get excited about Thursday's opener against the University of Houston. Houston has only 2 winning seasons in the last 7 years, and they have only 2 bowl appearances in the last 17. But the Ducks are raring to go. For the past month, they've been pounding their way through preseason practice, and this is their first chance to go full speed against a live opponent. And it sounds like the Ducks defense, they're going to have to be ready for anything.
They run a lot of misdirection.
They kind of got a crazy offense. You know, they would like to pass a lot more, but they definitely got a good running attack.
It's a lot of misdirection, you know, kind of put your eyes this way, run the ball this way. They're not like a real, you know, hard-nosed, you know, drive the football down your throat type of team. So just a lot of keys. You got to make sure you do your assignments, you know, make sure everybody's where they need to be so they don't get, you know, big plays on you.
Again, the Ducks' 2005 season gets underway Thursday night in Houston. As of tonight, Oregon State's September 10th game against Boise State is sold out. The folks in the OSU athletic department also tell us that only 250 tickets remain for Saturday's season opener against Portland State. In all likelihood, that one will also be a sellout, but we have you covered. You can watch the Beavers and Vikings on our sister station, KPDX UPN 49, Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. start. All right, moving on. He's 31 years old, but Mariners pitcher Jeff Harris is a rookie. He's only played 3 Major League games, but so far, this guy is making the most of it. Harris got a lot of support early on tonight. Ichiro with the 3-run homer in the second. That gave the M's a 5-0 lead. Then in the third, Jose Lopez steps to the plate with 2 men on, and Lopez comes up big. He clears the bases. 2 men on, sends them both in. Seattle led 8-2 after 3 innings. From there, it was all Harris. He goes 6 1/3 innings. This guy played in the minor leagues for about a decade, but he allows 3 runs on 6 hits tonight, beats the Yankees. The Mariners win the game 8-3. Well, first it was drugs, now plugs. Rafael Palmeiro was booed so loudly during his first at-bat in Toronto tonight, he wore earplugs during his second trip to the plate, and apparently the plugs aren't as helpful as the drugs because Palmeiro popped out to pitcher in that at-bat. Well, tonight the Beavers find a little success in Tucson. Portland grabbing a 4-3 win on the road. The Beavers keep it going. Well, today, Soccer America magazine named University of Portland midfielder Megan Rapinoe one of its players of the week. Rapinoe scored 2 goals in Saturday's season opener, and she just missed the hat trick when she put this shot off the crossbar. Not bad for a freshman playing her first college soccer game. Hey, tonight, Andy Roddick's first-round match at the U.S. Open was nothing short of stunning, but for all the wrong reasons. On his 23rd birthday, Roddick suffered an absolute beating, and it's not that Roddick didn't play well. His opponent, Gilles Muller, played better. Muller making his first U.S. Open appearance, and he comes away with a straight sets win tonight. Each of the 3 sets went to a tiebreak, and each time Muller just came up with one amazing shot after another. In fact, he even went so far tonight as to out-ace Roddick 24-17, and Roddick is the ace master. 4th seed Andy Roddick ousted at the U.S. Open. On the other side of the bracket, number 2 Lindsay Davenport facing Na Li. Davenport recently elevated back to the number 1 ranked player status in the world. Well, tonight she was in solid form. Lindsay Davenport winning in straight sets 6-4, 6-4. Now, we're just 2 days into the Open, and the East Coast heat has already conquered a few players. A Japanese player left the court by wheelchair yesterday after hyperventilating. Today, a Spaniard fainted shortly after quitting his match, and then we have 18-year-old Andy Murray making his U.S. Open debut. If you have a weak stomach, you might want to close your eyes because in the 5th set, a sports drink did not agree with Murray's stomach, and you see the result right there. It took 20 minutes to clean the court, but Murray, this kid went on to win the match in 5 sets. Shauna?
You had to show it.
Yeah, I'm just reporting the news, Shauna. That's all I'm doing.
Thanks, I think.
The weather's about to heat up some more. Mark Nelson has a 7-day forecast coming up.
And we are following some breaking news in Northeast Portland where police say that a man stole one of their patrol cars.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
This segment of the 10 o'clock news is brought to you by Dania Furniture.
Are you bundling your services with Quest? If not, you may be spending too much. With Quest, you can choose a bundle that's best for you. Dedicated high-speed internet, 100% digital TV, local phone, unlimited long distance, and wireless, all on one bill. Get it all for $122.96 a month. You can't get all that from cable. Do the math and see how you'll save with Quest. Take our Promise of Value challenge. Call 1-87-PROMISE-2 today. That's our spirit of service.
I'm telling everyone about the Mervyn's main event this Wednesday at 8 a.m. It's such a great sale. Listen to this, 40 to 50% off all High Sierra for the entire family. We're talking head-to-toe style. And the whole family's getting denim. The entire stock's on sale. My kids are getting their favorites from Side Out at half off. And all fine jewelry 60 plus another 10% off. Plus, I'll find some great deals in clearance. 75% off on things my family can wear right now. I'll see you at the Mervyn's main event. Knockout style, knockout prices. This Wednesday only starting at 8 a.m.
It's truth time, Portland.
Lots of radio stations claim they play all kinds of music, but only one station plays everything.
Unbelievable.
Introducing the all-new 97.1 Charlie FM. We play everything. Rock, pop, dance, classics, weird animal noises, everything. 97.1 Charlie FM. Check out Portland's newest radio station, 97.1 Charlie FM. We play everything.
The road to the playoffs begins here as the Seattle Seahawks battle the Minnesota Vikings. Friday at 5:30 on Fox 12 Oregon.
Since we introduced the Ford Family Plan, hundreds of thousands of Americans have joined in on the savings. Now we're extending the plan until September 6th. Get the same low prices Ford employees pay for America's most popular line of SUVs. Family pricing on Ford Explorer, America's best-selling, most trusted SUV. Now get a Ford Explorer with employee pricing for only $24,414. Save over $8,000 on the #1 selling SUV in the Northwest. No hassles, no gimmicks. Visit your local Northwest Ford store today.
No matter how big your son gets, no matter how strong he gets, no matter how smart he gets, keep talking to him about not smoking. Because a part of him will always listen to his mom. Talk to your kids about not smoking. They'll listen. For conversation starters, log on to philipmorrisusa.com.
Want the best deal on your next vehicle? CarSoup.com can help. It's packed with tools to help you research and compare vehicles. Find a better car buy 24/7 at CarSoup.com.
Live from Fox 12 Oregon, this is breaking news.
We want to update you now on tonight's breaking news. Portland police have arrested a man they say stole one of their patrol cars. KPTV's David Freitas is in Northeast Portland, where police found that patrol car. David.
It's pretty gutsy, Wayne. We're in the neighborhood where this all ended. It actually started at the 82nd Street Transit Center, where police thought they spotted somebody that was wanted. They ended up going up to him, and they ended up getting into a fist fight with him. The suspect took off running, went down the embankment, and actually ran out onto the Banfield Freeway. Another officer came along and spotted that guy, took off after him on foot. He noticed, doubled back, and ended up getting to the patrol car before the officer did. He hopped in, drove to this neighborhood. He was only in this neighborhood for about 4 minutes, and he got out. You can see that police have been fingerprinting that car because they're...
The Western Chicken with bacon and onion rings, new at Carl's Jr.
At Weyerhaeuser, we think trees are too precious to use just once. So every year, we collect and recycle around 120,000 train cars full of old office memos, empty boxes, and last Sunday's sports sections. And we use the fiber to make new products again, and again, and again, and again. Weyerhaeuser, the future is growing.
Based on a true story, The Exorcism of Emily Rose is an intelligent, introducing thriller in the tradition of The Omen. One of the most chilling movies of the year. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Rated PG-13, everywhere September 9th.
Gray hair and a beard is pugnacious.
In other words, gray hair stinks.
Just for men, swishes and dishes gray.
Gray is gone.
It's simplistic and naturalistic. Easy.
And Claude looks splendiferous.
Just for men gel. The Rejuvenator.
News that's to the point. Coin News 6.